So I'm going to dive into some tips on installing the Super ATV power steering kit on these Polaris Ranger 570 full-size machines. This is a 2023. According to Super ATV, they do not know if this kit fits this model. They have not test fitted it. It's the new thing every year. I think they just wait until somebody tells them it fits, but I don't know if they actually test them themselves. I assume maybe they do. I'll tell you, this kit does fit the 23. It's that part number there. It's the same kit they've used since I think 2016 on these. So what I wanted to point out in this video is the issues that I ran into when I install these. This kit is the 6th or 7th one I've done on these exact models, same kit. I've installed other kits, but this is this model specifically. I've got this one to do, and then I've got one more to do here in the next couple weeks for a neighbor. So I know these kits. I've run into the same problems on most of these kits, and that's why I wanted to point it out, because somebody that's never done one is probably going to be scratching their head on a couple of things and asking the question why. So let's dive into it here. This kit is installed more or less, the 2/3 of it. There's your motor bracket, and then your side bracket there that bolts to it. The lower steering shaft is installed. There's no knuckle up here, it's just a splined end of that shaft. I've got it hooked into the steering rack loosely. I've just got that bolt just loose there. So when I install these, go ahead and get your bracketry mounted up loosely. Get it in place, get your lower shaft on the rack, put your bolt in on the rack. Same thing here, get it splined on, get your bolt started so that everything is in pretty close to its original finished place. So where the issues arise are between this bracket and this power steering motor bracket. Generally, almost all of the issue is the fitment between these two plates. There are 2 bolt holes there and 2 underneath. As you can see, I'm only using 1 hole and 1 bolt. And the reason why is when you try to slide those 2 brackets in line where those 2 holes will line up, what you're gonna have, at least for me, 5 out of 6 kits so far, okay? Not all of them, some of them. You're gonna have a mismatch between these 2 plates. And what you don't want is these 2 plates to not be parallel. You want them in line, up and down and side to side. You don't want to have a twist in one or the other, and you don't want to have a mismatch in or out, okay? Almost always this plate that I have found, this tab will be bent up and into that. So I'll take it out, put it in a vise, and take a channel lock and bend that tab back down to where it is in line, and then I'll bring it back out here, test fit it, see how it's looking, finesse it a little more if I have to. Once I've got those 2 in line, that's half the battle, okay? Then go ahead and mock it up again and see, when this is flush over here, how are we looking here? And if you need to do any more changes, make them. But then what you're really looking for is you've got your motor hooked up, run these bolts down finger tight, that bolt in up there, run it up until, there's a little bit of movement, but it's fairly snug to the frame, and see where everything wants to be. Get this motor where it wants to be, okay? It'll tell you. Get it in line, get everything hand tight, and if at that point, these 2 holes, when you line them up, if you get them lined up and everything looks good here, you're good. If it doesn't look good here, you're not good. So either do like I did here, and this is just my suggestion. You can get by lining up 1 hole with the other on each plate, use 1 bolt. I'm not gonna tell you that's what you should do. I'm telling you that's what I have done, and it works fine. You have a bolt there, you have a bolt up there. It's worked fine. I Loctite that nut, even though it's a nylon nut. Go ahead and Loctite it. That's what I do for insurance sake. And that's where these two brackets want to be straight, okay? Straight and true. And that's what we want. We don't want any binding going on. If you've got a bind, and for an example, where this wants to be, this plate with everything assembled here, this motor and plate want to be right here where it is. This bracket, when I bolt it up kind of snug, it wants to be here. And I don't have any more room to slide it up. So I actually added a flat washer between the two plates to take up the room, so I didn't have to pinch those two plates together. If I did that, I would cause a bind, and I don't want to cause a bind for the motor's sake or the shaft or anything else. It'll just wear things out quicker. If it's that bad, if it's really out of whack, I would get a hold of Super ATV and say, hey, I've got a problem. But I'm telling you, I've gotten by this way, and I'm telling you that most of these kits, you're gonna run into that. The only other issue on these kit that I have is this lower splined coupling. They weld that onto that shaft, and it does not always get welded as straight as I would like to see. When they are not straight, you will get an oscillation in the motor because it transfers from the shaft into the motor, and you will see a waggle here, okay? Like a fish wagging its tail, its fin. You're gonna see that. And I'm gonna move the rack, and I want you to see if you can see it. Let's see if I can hold my camera still. You're gonna see it in the bracket and in the motor. It's not really bad on this one. This one's pretty good. I've had some that are really good. I've had some that are really bad. If you get one that's really bad, I would see if you can get a new shaft. Okay, this one is not bad. It's pretty good. We're gonna run this one. I do Loctite, or I use either blue Loctite or bearing mount on that lower spline shaft when I'm all ready for my final fitment, and I tighten it up, tighten everything up. I run some sort of locker on that to help that last longer. When you're finished getting it everything where you want, tighten everything up. And that's pretty much it on these kits. So I will say, for the money, these kits are a really good value. You know, at $500, $600, $700, whatever they are. It's a good value, especially in this time where everything costs more. I've had these kits in machines for 15 to 20,000 miles before we trade them off, and they've held up. The only thing I've ever had fail is that lower shaft. And if you call Super ATV in the first year, they'll send you a new shaft. If it's after that, they'll work with you on getting you a new shaft, sell it to you, or sell it to you reasonable. I've never had any issues getting parts from those guys. It's just not been a problem. It's kind of a crappy job to have to go in there and do it if it fails, but there's worse things. But for the money, they're still an affordable kit. I've never had a motor fail. I've never had a computer fail. They've been really reliable, and they work good. I mean, they steer really well. So that was my 2 cents on these. I just thought I would mention that because I have run into that on these kits repetitively, but they are a good kit. You just got to be cautious of that bracketry geometry issue and that lower shaft, and you'll be fine. So hope you enjoyed the video. If there's anything I missed or anything you've run into on them, go ahead and leave that in the comments. So thanks for watching.